So hi folks, welcome back to the SQL 50 series. So today we are with the next problem, that is students and examinations. So this is also part of the joints problems in SQL 50 series. So yes, uh, yeah, they have categorized it as easy problem. So let's see the problem. So we have been given with three tables. Okay, so this is the first time that we are seeing three tables in this series. So yeah, the question looks, we have so many tables and they are asking, the question looks very, very smaller. Let's go on. Let's see it. So we have students table. Okay, we have students table. It is having two fields, student ID and name, right? So name is the variable character. Yeah, student ID is the primary key column with the unique values for the table. Each row of this table contains the ID and the name of the student in the school. Cool. We have one more table, that is subjects. So you can see that there is only one table. Okay, sorry, one field in this table. Okay, there is only one field, that is subject name, variable character, right? So subject name is the primary key column with the unique values for this table. Each row of this table contains the name of one subject in the school. Cool. Now we have one more table, that is examinations. All right, so we have in examinations table there is student ID and subject name. Okay, so this examination table is actually joining, it is referencing to these two tables. Okay, there is no primary key column for this table. It may contain duplicates. Cool. Each student from this students table takes every course from the subject table. Okay, each row of this table indicates that the student with the ID student ID attended the exam of subject name. Okay, so this examination table is containing the student ID and subject name. So it indicates that the student has taken that particular subject. He has attended that exam. Okay, so they are asking us to write a solution to find the number of times each student attended each exam. Return the result table ordered by student ID and subject name. Okay, so yes, so if we go through the sample test case, you can see that we have been given with one table. So it is having four records, uh, all unique, right? So all are unique records, and it is having some data, student data. Okay, and we have subject table which is having only subject names. So you have maths, physics and programming, and you have examination table that indicates that student has attended that particular subject. So if you see that one has attended math, he has also attended physics, he has attended programming, and two has attended programming, one has again attended physics, math, and like this it goes on. The output is like this, guys. So they are asking us to find the number of times each student attended each exam, right? So if you see, we should not only output only the students who have attended the exams, but also every student, right? So we have four students, so every student and for every subject. Okay, so you can see that every student and for every subject. So Alice with three subjects. Okay, and how many times he has attended. So if you see, Alice has attended one and math, right? One and math, it was present three times. You can see that Alice was, I think he loves the subject. That is why he has attended many times, right? He attended maths many times. So one and math. So he has attended three times. Okay. So if you see one and physics, he has attended two times. Okay. So like this, if you see that Alice, he has attended maths for three times and physics two times and programming one time. So you can see for Bob, ID number 2, he has attended for programming and he has attended for math. Okay, so he has attended only two subjects, but he has not attended for physics. So that's why if you see, for Bob, maths he has attended 1, for physics he is 0, and for programming he has attended only 1. Okay, and if you see the next student, Alex, he has not attended any exam, right? He was a crazy student, he has not attended any exam. So if you see in the output table, for every subject Alex attended exams is 0, And John, he has attended, I think he's a clever student, so he has attended only once, right? So every subject he has attended only once, so that is why we are getting 1 and 1 and 1, right? So this is the problem, guys, right? So guys, if you see the problem, uh, if you see the problem, you know that, right? So they are asking us to find for every student and every subject, so every student, every employee, every user, we have seen this word in, in so many problems, like previous problems we have seen so many times this word. So whenever we are whenever we get this kind of word, so automatically one thing comes into our mind is left join. So for every student means, right, for every student and every subject they are saying, so for every student means absolutely we'll be having a left join, okay, students left join and some other table, right? So first, what we will do here, guys, is they're saying that we need to find for every student, every subject. So if you see, for every student and every subject means it will be a cross join, right now, guys. So we need to do a cross join. Here we have only students table and here we have subject table, so we do not have any matching condition. We have to do a cross join here, because for every student we want rows for every subject, like this, right? We want for every student his id, his name, and with every subject he has to get mapped. Okay, so that will be our first task. So first task would be, we will be actually mapping, right? We'll be mapping, map every student to each subject. Okay, so how we will be doing this? We'll be doing it via using a cross join. All right, okay, so this will be our first task, guys. Okay, and then what we need to do, guys, the second task would be, we need to find out, like we have been given examination tables, guys. We have been given examination table. So first we need to what we need to do is, we need to count how many times, right, how many times every student and that particular subject, like how many times they have attended. Okay, so if you see, one and math, he has attended 3 times. So how will be able to calculate that? So we need, absolutely we need to use a group by. Okay, we need to use a group by expression over here, and we need to use a group by expression not only on the student id, but we need to use that group by on both student id and subject, right? So what we need to do is, right, we need to find out, right, we need to find out the count of, right, count of student, okay, count of attempted exams, guys. It is not student, it is attempted exam for every student and subject. Okay, this is how we will be doing, guys. We'll be using a group by expression. Okay, we'll be using a group by clause or expression. And then the next task would be, okay, combine above two tables, combine or join above two tables, and then we'll be getting the required answer, guys. Okay, so first we will start with the second step, guys, that is find the count of attempted exam for every student, right? So for every student, if you see, guys, so if I, okay, if I will show you from, from examination tables, right, from examinations, okay, from examinations, uh, what I will do is, I will order it by, first I will show you like what I'm saying. Okay, I'll order it by student id and subject name. Okay, and then I will just do a select star. All right, so if I run this query, okay, so you will see that, you can see that now I've ordered it clearly. If you see, what we need to do is, what they have asked initially, they have asked us for every student, every subject, how many times they have attempted. So you can see that the student id with 1 math, here you can see that clearly he has attempted math for 3 times, and again he has attempted physics for 2 times. Okay, programming for 1 time, and second guy, he has attempted only 2 subjects, math and programming, and the 13th guy has attempted every subject 1 time. Okay, so So this is the examination table, guys. Now what we need to do is we need to take the counts. Okay, how we will be taking the count? If I do group by on only student id, right? If I will be doing only on student id, I will be getting all these things. Okay, I'll be getting all these things mixed up, so I do not want that. I want for every student and subject. Okay, so that is why in group by expression we will be including these two columns. Okay, both student id and subject name. I want to create that particular group, and then I need to count how many times it is occurring. So we'll be using count of star. Cool, right? So here we'll be doing group by student id and subject name, right? And then I want both these right, both these columns. What I will do is I'll just do a count of star. Okay, and count of star, this nothing means this is the attempts. Okay, this is the number of attempts. Okay, so if I run this, so now you can see that, in the output. Okay, so let me just do a order by also, guys, because it will be very easily, it will be very readable. Because let me do order by, and if I run this problem, sorry, query, so now you can see that it is now clear, right? So all this examination table, now it is clear. The student id math, right? One student id with math, he has attempted it for 3 times, and for physics he has attempted 2 times, and programming for 1 time. And student id with 2, he has attempted these two subjects, and 13 has attempted these 3. So now we should not only output, this is the half part of our complete output, right? This is half part of our solution, but what we need to do is, we along with these results, we need to display, right? So what we need to display, we need to display the student name, right? We need to display the student name, and along with these own, along with these attempts only, like along with this result, we need to also attempt, two, we need to also output for 2. Okay, 2 guy, he has not, we have to also put for physics also. So in the examination table it was not there, but for our solution table we need to output that also. So you can see that 2, right? 2 physics 0, so we need to output those records also, like those students also who have not attempted an exam for. So that is what the question was saying. He was asking us to find the number of times each student attended each exam. Okay, so for every exam we need to give the output. So this will be our intermediate result. So this is our what, this is the output for this query, guys. Okay, that is the examinations query. Okay, the group by on examinations, whatever we have done, this is the output for this above query. Now what we need to do is, guys, we have completed this step. Okay, using the group by condition, we have completed this second step, that is we have counted the number of attempts for every student and subject that is in the examinations table. Now what we need to do is, to be able to generate for all students and all subjects, firstly we need to make a cross gen. We need to make our one more intermediate table ready, that is student and subjects, we need to do a cross gen. So right, so we will be now completing our second step. So I'll just remove this from here, and I'll keep it third step over here, right? So now what we will do is, first we will make our table ready before, no before before like joining these two things. Okay, joining this result with to be able to output in this way, first we need to create our this mapping, that is student and subject name for every subject name. So how we'll be doing that? We'll be doing that by using a cross gen. Okay, so how will we doing the cross gen it, right? So from students, right, from students, simple, right? Cross join subjects. All right, so if I do a select star, if I do this select star, I hope everything is correct. Yeah, if I do a select star, you can see that okay, let me also do an order by, guys. So I'll simply use this. Okay, I'll do a order by, and then it will be easily readable. It will be more readable, right? And now you can see, my dear friends, it is coming in the like it is coming in the way that the question was asking, for every student, for every subject. Okay, so this is our cross join table. So you can see, for every student, it got mapped with every subject. For ls math, ls physics, ls programming, right? And then bob math, bob physics, and every student got mapped with every subject. Now what we need to do is, we need to join this table with the previous table that was our output, like the group, like we have done, right? Group by expression, using the group by expression we have calculated this table, right? Now we need to, what we need to do is, we need to join these two tables, right? So this intermediate table should be joined with our this table. How we will be joining it? So we will be joining it with using the student id and also the subject name, because if you join with student id, it may map it, it will be, there are multiple records in student id, right? So if you match with only student id, it will be matched with other subjects also. So math and physics will also be getting matched. So no, we should not match like this. We should match on student id and subject name. Okay, so if you match like this, we will be getting the number of items, okay, in the join table, right? So now what we should do is, we should join these two tables. Okay, so this was my first task. Okay, first task output. Now what we need to do is this, guys. We need to join these two tables. Okay, so how we will be joining it, guys? Okay, so firstly I'll copy this and comment this out. Okay, let me put it over here only. Okay, so this was my task one query, that is this cross join query, and this one was my second query. All right, this one was my second query, right? So these two queries we were getting. Let me just remove this. Okay, now if you see this, guys, so how I can join these two tables is, so you are clear with this, right? So what we are doing, from students, cross join subjects. Okay, cross join subjects. Now for this, right, for this table, I can join the, the below table, like, I can, what I can do is, I can join simply like, see, I will join it. I will, this is the second table, right? So this is this table, that is the examination table, the group by and all examination table, right? So that table, I will create it as a subquery. I'll make it as a subquery, right? And I'll give it a alias as sub. All right. So this is a alias, and here also I will keep some aliases. Students s, cross join subjects sub. All right, and I will use a left join. I'll use a left join because you can see that for every student, okay, this is my whole left table. Okay, so this whole thing is my left table, guys. Okay, so whenever you say from student cross join subjects s, so this will be my, this whole table will be coming over here. Okay, coming over here. So this is my whole left table. So for every student I want, like they are asking, right, for every student, right, for find the number or number of times each student attended each exam, right? So I will be using left join. All right, and this is my right table. This is my right table. Okay, so this is my right table. Now on what conditions I need to join? So this is like, we can join like this also, guys. We can join with using the subqueries also, and CTEs also. So we can use kind of this, not only the table names. So I think this is the first time that we are seeing like this. Yeah, but like this also we can perform joins, guys. So on what condition we need to join? So we will be joining this on, we'll be joining this on student id, right? Student id, that is s, right? Student id is in the students table, right? On s dot student id equals to, so you can see that student id is also present in the subject. Okay, so this whole table alias is sub. So this sub is this table, guys. So sub is also having student id. Okay, so that was one of the matching condition, sub dot student id. And also, if we need to also match on the subject name. Okay, we need to also match on the subject name. So you can see one alice math, one and math will be mapped with one and math. Okay, so that is the thing, guys. Okay, and subject name s dot subject name. So you can see subject, wait a second. So subject name is not in my students table, guys. It is in the subjects table. Okay, it is in the subjects table. You can see that. So basically, when you join this table, when you have created this table right now, guys, cross join. So basically, these two columns are coming from the students table, and this is coming from the subjects table. So we should we should call that column using the sub. Okay, not s. Okay, so this column name will be sub dot subject name. So that is why it is coming from the second table, right? So sub dot subject name equals to, okay, I cannot, guys, I cannot use this sub because I've already used this with the uh, subjects table. So I need to put it as I will put it as sub query. Okay, subq. Okay, so subq. So here I'll just put subq here, right? So it is of the subquery student id, and then sub dot subject name equals to subquery dot subject name. All right, so I think it has become a lot big query, guys, and don't worry, if you're confused again, just go back a little bit and watch it in very slow, right? Everything is correct, just you need to concentrate some more on these problems, right? So what I've done, I've joined these two tables using the match the student id and subject name. Now let us see the output of this table, guys. We will do a select star on this table, and you will understand. So now you see, guys, what has happened, and you can see we have got the complete table. Okay, now what we have done is, right, so I'll just show it to you. So now this was the output of this combined table, guys. So you can see that what we have done initially, we have done the cross join, right, to find the for every student it has to be mapped with every subject. So we have done a cross join, and then we have calculated the number of attempt. Okay, the examination table was containing how many, like, what students have attended what exam. We have just done a group by on it. Okay, we have done aggregation, like one with math, how many times he attended. Then what we have done, we have just we have just joined these two tables, right? So one ls math, so this has been matched with this student id and subject name. So he has 3 is number of attempts. So like this only we have got. So now you can see that these two tables are matched, and all we are getting all correct rows, right? So one alice math and student id. So these two tables are coming from the students table, and this these two columns are coming from the students table, and this column is coming from the subject table, right? And these three columns are coming from our examinations table that we have created. Okay, the intermediate table that we have created, that is coming from this subquery, guys. This subquery. Okay, this subquery, right? So these three columns are coming from that subquery. Now you can see that everything is matched. One alice math and number of attempts is 3, and you can see 6 alex guy, he was second guy, right? So second guy, one second, guys, I think there is some error. Yeah, no, not error. You can see that second guy, he didn't attended the physics, so null is coming, right? And alex was attended nothing, he has attended, so null is coming. So what we need to do now, we have got everything correct, right? But we need to, one thing we have to make sure that null, we should not output null. Okay, sorry, wait a second. We will now select the whatever columns we need. Like we will select what columns, right? So we'll be selecting these 4 columns which they have asked us to do. Okay. So what we will do, we'll select only those columns, and be very careful, guys, because we have joined 3 tables here. We need to be very careful in selecting the columns. All right. So what columns we need to select? We have to select student ID. Student ID is coming from students table, right? So S dot student ID. All right. And then a student name, right? Student name is also, it is also coming from the uh, students table. So S dot student name. All right. And the next column is subject name. So subject name is coming from this table, so it will be sub dot, right, sub dot subject name. And attended exams, so attended exams is coming from this particular subquery, right? So this particular session table, so it is sub q. Okay, so we can access that column using sub q dot what is the name? Yeah, we have given that name as number of attempts. Okay, so we can just put this number of attempts, and we can just rename that to attended exams. All right. So now if I run this query, you can see that we'll be getting only those 4 columns. All right. So you can see that we have got only those 4 columns. Now the problem is not yet over, guys. What we need to do is, first thing, we should not give nulls. Okay, wherever the students have not attempted this exam, we should not give null. Okay, instead we should replace those values by 0. So how we can do that? Okay, so one simple thing is, we can use something like coalesce. Okay, so if you use this coalesce on the this thing, sub q dot number of attempts, right? So one thing we can use is, we can use the coalesce function. All right, so what this coalesce function will do is, we'll be giving number of list of items in it, and it will output the first non-null value. Okay, so here if I give it as 0, right, so what it will do is, coalesce will do is, it will check all these items, like it will check both these values, and it will give the output whichever is the first non-null value. Okay, so if you see here, sub q dot number of items, if it is a null value, then it will go to the next value. Okay, if it is again null value, then it will go to the one more next value, like how many values you have given, right? It will do that. Otherwise, if if the first parameter is only not null, it will just give that value as as itself. So if I use this coalesce function to replace all the null values with 0, so if I run this query, you can see that all the null values will be replaced with 0. Okay, so you can see here, all the null values have been replaced with 0. All right, now what I need to do is, I should simply order them by the student ID and subject name. Order by student ID and subject name. So S dot student ID and sub dot subject name. So let me just run it. And you can see, my dear friends, everything is coming in proper order. Okay, so one Alice has attended math exam for 3 times, physics, programming, and Bob, he has not attended physics, and it is coming as 0. And Alex has not attended any subject, right? And John, being a topper, he has attended every exam 1. Okay, cool. So very big query, guys, very big solution, right? So if you understand this, right, you are like, you're perfect with joins. Okay, so we have joined 3 tables here, very expensive operation, right? So you can see this like the task, like how we have divided. Firstly, we have made this cross join, right? So we have made this cross join, the student table, right? Student table and subject table. We have done a cross join, and then we have calculated the aggregations, right? We have performed aggregations over here, like how many times we have used the group by and calculated how many times every student has attempted that particular subject, right? So this was that query, and then we have combined it. We have joined both the both these tables, the cross join table and also the this group by table, right? So pretty good problem. So now let us submit and see if it passes for all the test cases in the backend. Cool, it has passed. Okay, so very big query, guys, right? So let us see if there is any better solution. And I think they have used the pretty much same, right? So they have also used the same logic. They have performed the cross join first, and then for the cross join table, they are using the left join. Okay, so cool, cool stuff. Okay, so basically, you can this you can see, guys. They have they have directly did this thing. Okay, what I did was I have created separate subquery over here. Okay, but what we can do is, instead of creating subquery directly, you can go through this solution, guys. It's a very good one. I can directly put the directly do the left join on examinations e table, guys. So on these two conditions I can join the table, and then I can perform the group by. Okay, whereas what I've done is I performed the group by inside the subquery, and then I've joined. But in this thing you can see that they have done it the either way. So their solution was taking very less runtime, so they've written in SQL. So yeah, maybe you could also try, you could try in your homework, like without specifying the subquery, directly do a left join with the examinations table and check the runtime how it works. Okay, so yeah, so yes, guys, that's it from this problem. So very huge problem, right? So thank you. We'll meet in the next problem. Thank you. Happy learning.